Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Sathya Seva Gurukulam free online classes in science. So, all of you are you happy? Okay, comfortable? Okay, sit properly, have your book and pen ready. Let us just recall what we have studied in the previous class about force and pressure. Here there is no force for you, but study the lessons, okay. Hard work is always rewarded, note down. Those who do hard work will get good marks and they will improve in all aspects. So, what is force? Force is a push or a pull on an object. So, push means what? Pushing your pen, pushing your book, pushing your bucket, trunk, all that. Even also you have seen when the vehicle doesn't start, you push the vehicle, correct? And pulling water from the well is not pulling the trunk or suitcase, pulling the book from the shelf. So much of pulls are there, is it not? And also you have studied about how does that force takes place. A force arises due to the interaction between the two objects. There should be two objects. Suppose you say I am pushing the bucket. So bucket is one object and your hand is another object. So for everything, every action of force, there are two things are needed. Force acting on an object may cause a change in the motion or change in shape. So what does the force do? It can change in the motion. For example, you are driving in a bicycle and when you are coming down, what happens? You go very fast, no need of pedaling, na? Just sit, it will take you down. But you must be careful, there may be small stones here and there or some pits also. So suddenly a dog may come between, brake inspector. Then you have to apply the brake, is it not? So what happens when a brake is applied, the speed cuts down. Or when you are going down and put an accelerator in a vehicle, what happens? The speed becomes more. So what does it indicate? It shows that it changes the motion and also shape. Other day we have discussed how the wheat flour with sufficient quantity of oil or water, etc., and then you roll it into cylindrical tape and then you cut it off. All this will change the shape also, correct? And also you have seen that there are some forces which are not in contact with each other, the objects. For example, magnetic. You have studied about law of magnetic poles. What is that? Like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. Similarly, electrostatic force. When you think of two charged bodies, or when a charged body is brought near an uncharged body, there will be either repulsion or attraction, and hence a law is there, like charges repel each other, unlike charges attract each other. So here these two forces are not in contact with each other, is it not? Therefore it is called non-contact forces, okay. These are the things we have seen in the previous class. Now coming to home assignment 4. How many have done it? Come on, raise your hands. Okay, first question. State the law of magnetic poles. Magnetic poles, like poles repel each other, unlike poles attract each other. How many poles will a magnet have? Yes, 2 poles, correct? Name. What is the name of that? They are called North Pole and South Pole. There will be 2 poles for a magnet called North Pole and South Pole. So what do you mean by like charges, like poles? Like poles means if the 2 magnets have both facing each other with North Pole or both facing with South Pole, that is called like poles. What happens to them? They repel, they go away. And when they attract, when a North Pole is brought near the South Pole or a South Pole is brought near the North Pole of a magnet, then there will be attraction. Correct? This is the law. The magnetic and electrostatic forces are called non-contact forces. Why? Just now we discussed about that. A magnet can exert a force on another magnet without being in contact with it. That is why magnetic force is called non-contact force. So here 2 magnets may not be in contact. Therefore, it is called non-contact process, non-contact forces. Similarly, force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body comes into play when the bodies are not in contact. To give an example, yesterday we discussed about that. When a comb is brushed against your hair, brought near some paper pieces, brought near, it did not touch there. That's why it is called non-contact forces. So when it is brought near the paper pieces are attracted. Have you seen it? Okay. Therefore, it is called as non-contact force. One more question. Give 2 examples of 2 electrostatic forces in daily life. So when we brush a plastic comb on our hair and bring it near the paper pieces, it gets attracted. It gets attracted. Note the spelling. So just take a comb and brush it to your hair, bring it near some paper pieces. That is one example of electrostatic forces. While removing our rayon shirt from our body, sparkles of light are seen or sound is heard. You have seen it? Night times, the power is not there, just remove a shirt, chat 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 sound comes. You have seen it? So sound also comes, some light also is seen. That is because of electrostatic force. Now we will come to today's topic. Who is this gentleman? Can you name him? Yes? Can you guess? What are these fruits? These fruits are apple. So an apple is falling on the head of a scientist. If you and I are there, what do? You start eating it up. And next step, we start collecting it up. Next step, it continues like that. But scientists will always think, why does an apple fall on my head? Why does it not go back? That was his curiosity. Hence he discovered that all bodies in this earth, every object in this universe, whether small or large, exerts a force on every other object. This force is known as gravitational force. To give a simple example of this fruit, see, when the fruit is ripened, it falls of its own accord. You need not give any bell or you can tell somebody. Naturally it falls. You might have seen mango season, mango fruits falling. Seen it? Okay. Why does it fall? It is because of gravitational force. And this photo is of Sir Isaac Newton. Of course, it is a cartoon type. You can draw the figure if you are interested. So here he is thinking seriously, why does an apple fall on my head? Then he discovered a law that every body exerts a force, and that is what is defined as gravitational force. So similarly, objects or things fall towards the earth because it pulls them. This is called force of gravity. Whatever body is there, the earth will pull down. That is called force of gravity, and we call it as small g. We are going to study later. Its value is 9.8 newtons per meter square. Okay, we are going to study that later. So, force of gravity, that will change from place to place. Why does it change? Because as you move away from the center of the earth, the gravity becomes less and less. As you come nearer to the center, gravity will be more. Okay? And we will take some examples. Water flowing towards the ground. Have you seen waterfalls? Joke falls you have seen? Yes, you might have seen so much of water falling down. Even you are pouring water from a jug to the tumbler. Why does it flow down? Because it is a gravitational force. So this object will fall onto this object, tumbler, because the gravity pulls it down. And one more example you can see, the coin tossed up will come down. It is clear that the state of motion of the coin undergoes a change. Where you see this type of tossing a coin, by the way, what are the two faces of a coin? There are two faces, correct? We call it as head or tail. Actually, there is no reason why it is called head or tail. Head means usually faces. Tail means number. So this tossing of a coin comes under a very interesting branch of mathematics called probability. Nobody knows which falls down, either head or tail. So our duty is to toss it. Usually you have seen in cricket match, this tossing is a very important event. So depending on the toss, you can decide whether the match will win or not. So tossing of a coin. So this coin which is tossed will bound to come down. Similarly, you have seen high jump. Some of you maybe done some high jumps. When you jump from a height, you are bound to come down. Pole vault, swimming, all this. Not one or two, thousands of examples you can give. So here, when a coin is tossed, head may fall up or tail may fall up. There are two possibilities. Okay. So, these are some of the examples of gravitational force. Okay. That is also non-contact force. And now let us come to a very interesting thing called as pressure. Have you heard the word pressure? Yes, you have heard. Before going to exam, your mother or father will say, you should get 90%, 95%, 98, like that. That pressure they put is not good actually. One should not put pressure on studies. Of course, just to create some interest in the children, they do that. And also for the future of the children. The force acting on a unit area of a surface is called pressure. So, pressure is equal to force by area. So, here is an example. Here is a container containing what is called as molecules, say water or small dust particles, whatever it is. Here the lid is closed. Now, if the lid is pressed down, that is what you call it as pressure is applied. What happens? The same molecules becomes closer. Why does it come closer? Because of pressure being put on them. Are you understanding? Okay. So, you can give so much of example where pressure is put. Even in cricket match also. Last over, 12 runs to be done, 6 balls. So, one ball left like that only, it could not connect. Second ball, he hit a 1-4. Still 8 score, 4 balls. That is what you call pressure. Ball by ball, pressure will be increased. Last ball 4. Sometimes he may connect, if he connects it, he can hit it. Suppose the ball is not connected or the ball is very fast, and then he may lose that 4. So, what happens? If they lose that 4, they may lose in the match also. So, at that time the whole audience will be in tension and they will be putting pressure on the batsman. Correct? And both bowlers and batsmen and fielders, everybody in tension. Either it wins or loses. Okay. So, here as the force increases, pressure also increases. As the force decreases, pressure also decreases. What about area? Area, if area decreases, pressure increases. Inverse proportion. If area decreases, pressure increases. See here there is more area. So, the molecules are free to move. Here the area is reduced. So, pressure is increased. Correct? And now some examples of pressure. Pushing a nail into wooden plank with a pointed end. What is this called? Yes, hammer. You call it as hammer. What is this here? Nail. What is this here? Wooden plank. So, what is the gentleman doing? He is hitting it. See, if you just like this, if you hit in this pointed tip and hit it on the top, it goes easily. If you do reverse, suppose you put this head down and sharp end up and hit it, will it go inside? Mostly it may not go. Even if it goes slowly. So, the pointed end, that pointed end will help us to push the nail into the plank easily. And one more thing is, due to difference in air pressure, winds and cyclones are caused which will blow away the rooftops. You might have heard recently due to rain havoc. So much of roofs because of cyclone winds, they are thrown out. Some of them are thrown out, some of them are distorted, some of them falls down. In some cases, tree will fall on the roof. So much of calamity. So, see here roof is distorted, and the tree, now the branches are cut due to heavy winds and so on. So therefore, these are some of the dangers what you see in nature. Is it not? And this, why does it happen? It happens because of wind and cyclones. Okay. See here, the girls may be happy that their photos are there. What about the boys? Same story with boys also. What they are doing here? They are carrying school bags. So they are nearing school now. So shoulder bags of school going children having a broader straps. See, these are called straps here. These straps are broader. Why it is broader? To reduce pressure. Suppose it is thin, the straps are thin, it will give more pressure. Usually they carry about 5 to 6 kgs every day. I am telling for the kids of 6th standard above. For 10th and PUC, they will have more books. So, to reduce the pressure on the shoulders, these straps are wider. Are you following? So, these are some of the interesting explanations or examples of pressure. Similarly, you can also think so much of examples. Is it not? Now, come on. Let us see who will answer this. Select the word that tells about the force shown in each picture. Here there are 4 pictures. And here there are 4 kinds of pressures, forces. And you must match the force. For example, first figure, what type of force it is? Come on, anybody? Yes, it is pulling. You might have seen railway stations, they pull these suitcases. Of course, they should have wheels. You can pull it to long distances, correct? And what is this Isaac Newton doing? He is sitting under a tree and he looks at the apple falling on his head. What is that happening? That is because of gravitational force. And here is a gentleman who is pushing. Here it is pulling, here it is pushing. The luggage is more. Sometimes what happens, somebody may snatch off your luggages. So if you keep in front and push it, that will be safe. Last one, friction. The other day we discussed about friction. See here, there was water fallen on the floor. He could not see it properly. So he slipped off. And look at his face, he is shouting because he gets pain. So even if you fall on, even if you press this banana skin, then also you fall. Of course, you should not laugh at others falling, very important. Some, especially boys or girls of young age, if they see any old people falling down due to this slippery, they laugh. Should not do, because if you laugh at others now, more number of people laugh at you. Action and reaction. So don't laugh at it, but this is the one common thing we see there. It may be banana peels, or it may be water, oil, etc. So while walking in a nice surface, you should be careful. Now coming to home assignments, define pressure, write its formula. The coin tossed up will come down. Why? What kind of force is a load suspended from a spring while its other end is on a hook fixed to a wall? Okay. Now let us see what Bhagawan Baba says. Love and serve the motherland. Janani Janmabhumischa Swargadapi Gariyasi. Who said this? Yes, Sri Rama. To whom? Lakshmana. When? After winning the war in Lanka, they want to come back. Lakshmana says, we will stay here only, so nice it is. Then he says, mother and motherland are greater than heaven. So what you have to do there? You have to love people and serve the people all around us. What is love means what? All selfless actions. Selflessly. What is done is called love. Do not hate or hurt the motherland of others. One, you must have love for your motherland. That is why you call it as Matra Bhumi. At the same time, you should not hate the motherland of others. That country is like this country like that. You should not compare and condemn it. Okay? That is what Bhagawan Baba says. So come prepared for the home assignment. Thank you.